If we go from Earth towards the sun, there's two planets along the way. The first planet is Venus, and the second one is Mercury. A lot of people asked us to make videos about different types of planets, like Neptune, Uranus, and Saturn. We will get to those, but first, we're gonna look at Venus. They also call Venus Earth's twin. But they're not twins at all. They just say that because they're similar in size. Venus is farther from the sun than Mercury, but it's extremely hotter. And it is the hottest planet in the entire solar system. The surface temperature of this planet is around 460 degrees Celsius. The cool part about this planet is that the entire planet has the same temperature. Even when it's nighttime and the sun is not pointing at it, it still holds that 460 degrees Celsius. And the reason for that is it has a really thick atmosphere and it's formed with mainly carbon dioxide. But there's one question: why is Venus, even though it's not the closest planet to the sun, hotter than Mercury? The reason is that Mercury has a very thin atmosphere and it doesn't hold the heat inside the planet. But Venus is not like that. The air pressure on Venus is so bad that we can't even handle it. It would feel like you going 1 kilometer underneath the water. NASA says if you enter this planet, before you die from the heat, you will be crushed by the air pressure. As we said earlier, Mercury's atmosphere is so thin, it doesn't hold any heat. So as soon as it goes behind the sun, all the heat dissipates and it turns into a very cold side. But Venus doesn't release any heat. It keeps it all inside because of that thick atmosphere. You guys most likely know what the Goldilocks zone is. It's a habitable zone for a planet, and it relates on where it sits compared to its star. Venus is nowhere near the Goldilocks zone, but scientists believe long time ago this planet wasn't a hellhole. They say the surface of this planet is rocky and it has a lot of volcanoes. There's a lot of plains and mountains everywhere. On the surface, it has 460 degrees Celsius. And if you go on top of the mountain, it's still 460 degrees Celsius. The tallest mountain on Venus is Maxwell Montes, and they say it's around 11 kilometers high, meaning it's somewhere around 2,200 meters taller than Mount Everest. Just like we said, scientists believe that this planet wasn't a hellhole before. Venus is the same age as Earth, meaning around 4.5 billion years old. This is not a short time. We can't even imagine what 1,000 years ago was like. So just think about 4.5 billion years ago. They believe that the first 3 billion years, there was water on this planet, and the temperatures were between 20 to 50 degrees Celsius. It was hotter than planet Earth, but it was stable. But around 700 million years ago, the planet began to get hotter and hotter, and it made all the water evaporate. When they look at the history of this planet, they say it went through phases that it got hot and cold throughout the years. There's times where it was really cold and times where it's extremely hot. Around 3 billion years ago, they believe it was at its most stable time. The weather was good, there was liquid water, and it had tectonic plates just like planet Earth. Scientists want to find out how this thick atmosphere was formed around this planet. The more they researched, the less they found out. But the theory says that there's a lot of volcanoes on this planet caused all this carbon dioxide to build up in the atmosphere. And they believe it was all the volcanoes that did this. They produced so much CO2 that they made this planet a hellhole. They say if Venus wants to get back to normal, hundreds of millions of years has to pass for all that CO2 gas to slowly go back into the rocks. They also believe that on this planet, there could have been life, because way before planet Earth, there was liquid water on this planet. But researching all this is a pain. First of all, we can't even properly see the surface of Venus, and that's because of the thick atmosphere. And second of all the water has evaporated and the surface is like a hellhole. And even if we could have gone on the surface, we would have died by the air pressure before the heat. So right now, we can't properly research this. It's a hellhole, right? But this hellhole has a really nice view for us. Some nights, if you're in the right spot, you can easily see Venus. Venus is the brightest light in the night sky after the moon, and it's very beautiful. It's good to know that that smaller one on the top left is Jupiter. Can you believe it? A planet that far shines bright like a star. But Jupiter is a giant itself, so it makes sense that we can see it so clearly. But the beauty of Venus is something else.